Hello? Oh, I forgot to put on Twitter too. Okay. Should start soon. This is a visual novel that starts immediately once I open the game, so that's what I found out while trying to set this up. Oh my god. I changed my, like, for my VTuber to show how bright the screen is. That was a little terrifying. Oh no, because I opened the game, did it? So I didn't. Oh no, I have to. It's. I'm sure it's fine. Did it go through? Oh no, no it didn't. No audio. Boop. I love going through visual novel settings first. Wow, there's so many settings. Message speed. I like it fast. It's pretty good. Let's save. Yeah, okay. So this is Iwakura Aria. Which I believe to be a girl and a girl romance. Yeah. Taking place in a mansion, mostly, I believe. Whoa. And I played the demo, so I think at least the first prologue-y section I will know what has happened already. Assuming it's the same contents. But I'm excited! I really liked what the demo offered. And I do not know any specific trigger warnings, but it could get bloody. And I think there's like needles and stuff sometimes. To that extent. But yay, I'm so excited. So let's begin. Iwakura Aria. Oh yeah. It's fully voiced, so I can't read when people speak. So I'll read the inner monologues, I guess. Okay, this is where it started when I opened the game, so that's great. Chapter 1, a beautiful painting. The art is so nice. I love it so much. Oh. I had a feeling that the sunflowers wouldn't bloom this year. Surely the morning glories wouldn't bloom either. I'm sure that's because it feels so out of place here. Even if you plant seeds here, it's not like they will even sprout. The government declared a few years after I was born that we as a nation were no longer in the post-war period. I didn't even know it was possible to be this incredibly wealthy. I guess you can't imagine the likes of something you have never seen before. The grounds are so vast. From here, the gatekeeper looks so small. It has been exactly 1 week since I stepped foot into this completely new world, where even the air I breathe feels different from any other place I have lived until now. It all began when I met the head of the household, a man named Iwakura. I really don't want to go to job interviews. Real, so true! At the beginning of the month, I quit the construction company I had been working at since I graduated from junior high school. It had only been about a year since I started there. I even told myself that I wouldn't run away, no matter what happened. Both my boss and his business partners were much older than me, yet I had to deal with their advances every single day. The feeling of that huge, moist hand grabbing my thigh on my last day there, it so clings to my skin. It just won't go away.
あんた、何一丁前にため息なんかついてんの。ため息をつきたいのはこっちよ。全然売れてないじゃない。だって、ガラクタばっかりなんだもん。こんなの誰も買ってくれないって。買ってくれないじゃなくて、売るの。あんたが出戻ったせいで、うちも大変なんだから。わかってんの？
This is Kitagawa Orphanage. It's the place where I spent the majority of my childhood while I was being moved around to different foster parents and institutions. I spent the last year here before I was eligible for employment somewhere. We were hosting a bazaar that day to raise money to help with the orphanage's operating costs. Tableware with ugly patterns, towels with their colors faded, and the crown jewel of the lot was a doll with a creepy face. It was also ridiculous. Everything was lined up in front of me, and all of them were items that seemed like they were particularly unlikely to sell. That's... It was a watercolor painting I made of a bird. I've almost never been praised for it, but I loved creating works of art ever since I was little. Usually I just doodle some things in my sketchbook, but since I came back to the orphanage, I've been doing some paintings while I spend time with the younger kids. It was only in those moments that I could just forget about everything and enjoy myself. However, much to my dismay, this caught the attention of one of the staff, and since they thought it'd help liven things up, they ended up selling my art at the bazaar. Maybe I should just quit painting. I was just doing it for myself as a way to relax, but when they decided to put my art up for sale, it felt like both my art and the feelings I put into it were as worthless as the rest of the junk they were selling it with. Everything is truly awful. The weight of the stress made my head hang low.
色使いがすごくいい。娘が気に入りそうだ。おや、申し訳ない。こちらは売り物じゃなかったかな？
いえ、売り物です。
もしかして君が描いたの？
I felt so awkward as my face grew hot, but I managed to softly nod in response. That's when I saw him. Mr. Amane Iwakura, with a wonderful smile on his face, began admiring my artwork with this incredibly sincere sense of earnesty. My god, my heart is absolutely pounding. I've never had someone praise my art like that before. All of that sadness I was just feeling a minute ago had just completely vanished.
お取り込み中？ちょっと失礼しますね。どうしたの？いちこ、あんたそろそろ出る時間でしょ。
No, I'm selling my art right now.
まだいいよ。10分前で大丈夫だから。無職のくせに何が大丈夫なんだか。
What the hell?
院長がお偉いさんに頼んで、この日曜にわざわざ時間を作ってもらったんだからね。服も髪もちゃんとしてよ。院長に恥かかせないで。いい？
God damn it. I hate this so much. You're the one embarrassing yourself around here.
返事はあんたちゃんと聞いて。わかったから。ごめんなさい。私失礼します。
君、待ちなさい。仕事を探しているのならうちに来るといい。ちょうど住み込みの女中を募集していてね。興味があれば少し話でもどうかな？
私？住み込みの女中？失礼ですが、あなた。
おっと、その前にこの絵をもらうよ。手持ちがあまりないのだけれど、 2000円でどうだろ
With those words, Amane gracefully slid 2 bills into a can that only had some loose change rattling around inside. That was the first time I've ever seen paper glisten like that.
約束の時間まであと15分か。そうだ、せっかくだし。
I pulled the new sketchbook that I just bought yesterday out of my bag. I can definitely kill some time with this.
何を書こう。やっぱりあの天使。
Suddenly, beautiful emerald wings fluttered right past my face. They playfully danced around the fountain, then gently landed on the shoulder of the sleeping angel as if they were taking a rest.
きれい。よし。こんな感じかな。
I really thought about giving up on my art, but Amane's words were powerful enough to get me to go buy a new sketchbook. He offered me food, clothing, and shelter with a more than adequate salary. He even said that I was free to pursue my hobbies as long as I did my work. And he told me that I really need to create more art. Those words made me so happy. The staff member said that I shouldn't take him seriously, but I ended up buying not only a new sketchbook, but some extra new pencils as well.
はい。
It was a first page worth commemorating. For some reason, looking at this piece makes me feel like everything will be okay.
これ一冊埋めるのは大変そうだけど、これからここでたくさん綺麗なものが描けたらいいな。よし、
Oh my
ちょう
god.
どいい時間だ。
I want, like, just Ichiko's, like, sketchbook progressively just turning more into the girl. Just start seeing more, like, girls in her sketchbook. Like, okay, what's going on here? I put the sketchbook back in my bag, then began walking towards the entrance.
カラス？どこだろう。庭の方かな。広すぎて見えないよ。
Why? Why'd that happen? Why? Oh, someone's standing there. He's so big. I wonder if he's a security guard. Okay, I guess that's a security guard. He followed me from the gate all the way to the entrance.
こんにちは。
Why is he watching me so intently? Did I do something wrong?
はじめまして。今日からお世話になる北川一子です。
Yikes, he's completely ignoring me. Maybe he's not allowed to talk to people or something like that. I feel like I remember someone telling me that that's the case at a castle in England. I managed to convince myself that I was correct and awkwardly forced myself to walk past this man who would no longer look me in the eye. Ah, that car. Next to the entrance, a jet black luxury car was parked in the driveway. This was the car that Amine got into when I saw him off that first day I met him. Nothing about any of this was a dream. Suddenly, the reality of the situation hit me all at once, and I was now very tense. This is absolutely not the time to start feeling nervous. That's when I looked down at my watch and saw that it was now exactly the time that I was supposed to be here.
ごめんください。ごめんください。
Ah!
ごめんください。
I then rang the doorbell. I could hear a voice calling out from inside. That was when, as if someone was standing by waiting for me, the doorknob quickly made a clinking sound as it began to turn.
いちこくん、いらっしゃい。よく来たね。
The ceiling is so high.
暑かったろう。今日は30度を超えると聞いて驚いたよ。6月最後の日曜とはいえ、夏はまだ先だと思っていたんだけれど。
Just the entrance hall of this place alone is bigger than a normal person's entire house.
いちこくん、立ち止まっていないで、中へおいで。
はい、靴は。
そのままで構わないよ。我が家は海外からいらっしゃるお客様も多いから西洋式なんだ。
Oh man, shoes in the house?
そうなんですね。それじゃあ。
You can do everything Western. Just no shoes in the house. Oh my god. Why? Oh. Filled with hesitation, I nervously took my first step inside. I just needed to take another step, then another step. Wow. Even the sound of my footsteps and my cheap shoes echoes with an enchanting elegance. This is too much. It feels like I'm at a fancy ball or something. It reminds me of that famous... what's it called?
鹿鳴館。あ、いえ、あんまり素敵な玄関ホールで、なんだか鹿鳴館みたいだなって。もちろん見たことはないので、想像ですが。
なるほど。やっぱり君は芸術家だね。すごくいい感性を持ってる。この屋敷は大正時代にイギリス人の建築家が設計したものなんだ。鹿鳴館ほど華美ではないけれど、同じく贅を尽くした空間だ。デザインも使われている素材も、この腰壁一つとっても彼や職人のこだわりが見て取れる。暖炉のマントルピースもそうだ。せっかくここで働くのだからね。時間をかけて屋敷中細部まで堪能するといい。
ありがとうございます。見せてもらうのが楽しみです。
ああ、他の部屋もきっと期待を裏切らない。と、疲れているのに立ち話で申し訳ないな。まずは君の部屋に案内するよ。少し休むといい。仕事の話はそれからだ。
I can't believe that my room is inside the residence itself. I figured I would be staying in a separate building or something. Amine led the way, with the sound of my footsteps falling directly behind him. The floor creaked softly. I could faintly hear the sound of clothes rustling. It's so quiet. A little too quiet.
他の使用人の皆さんは。
通いはいるけれど、住み込みは君一人だ。
That's crazy.
まあでも、家事すべてを押し付けるつもりはないから、心配はいらないよ。部屋は2階だ。足元に気をつけて。
No way. I didn't think for a second that I would be the only one. I wonder if things will be okay for me here.
いちこくん？
はい。
Things were not at all what I thought they would be, so that urge to just stop in my tracks was strong. Despite my slightly trembling legs, I forced myself to start climbing the stairs. I could hear my heart pounding in my chest. What am I going to do if something happens?
ここを上がって正面が私の部屋で、いちこくんの部屋は左手の突き当たりにある。そして、
There's no way anyone would come here to help me.
その右隣が娘の部屋だ。
That's right, I forgot that he had a daughter. The blood that quickly drained from my face came back and made my cheeks hot. Ah, that was close. Thank goodness I didn't say anything weird. I emerged from the staircase into a wide hallway. All of the closed doors made it feel rather claustrophobic, while at the same time, the sunlight coming in from the skylights made it feel rather open. Being in a space where you could feel both of those sensations at the same time was pretty overwhelming.
正面が天音さんの部屋。
そう、元は主寝室として作られた部屋だけれど、妻が亡くなってから一度改装してね。今は仕事部屋も兼ねた作りになっているよ。
Dead wife.
階段の隣はバスルーム。風呂の時間は互いに気を使う必要があるけれど、基本的には自由に使ってもらって構わないよ。こっちは客間だ。とは言っても、もう2階にお客様をあげることは。
Amane suddenly cut himself off when he placed his hand on one of the doorknobs.
なんだ、アリア、起きていたのか。
Aria. I guess that's his daughter. It's a pretty uncommon name.
おいで、イチコ君。娘のアリアを紹介するよ。
Now that I think of it, I never asked how old she was. I wonder, maybe she's still pretty young? I did what was asked of me and stepped into the guest room. In that moment, I realized that any of my predictions about her were completely off base. I could only see the back of her as she gazed out the open window. She had long hair that went down to her waist, and her slender ankles were peeking out from under her skirt. She was clearly much taller than me, not to mention that aura she gives off. She doesn't seem like a child, so she's probably not younger than me.
アリア。
Amane called her name and urged her to greet me. She then calmly turned to face me. It was in that moment. A Renoir painting stood before me. I suddenly remembered an art book that I'd completely forgotten about. Somebody had donated it to the orphanage. It was a rather large book. She had this dreamlike beauty. Her thin neck, small face, and big, beautiful eyes were now facing me. Her black hair shined with a bluish tinge from the sunlight. It accentuated the translucency of the whiteness of her skin. It was like the window frame itself was framing a real-life painting. There, standing before me, exuding a beauty that had yet to be seen to be believed, was Amane's daughter, Aria Iwakura. Oh my goodness, such a... Oh! Such a... Oh my goodness. Homosexual stare. She got so stun-locked. Her small face, ever so petite, neared me. The outlines of her lightly colored eyes came into view as they absorbed the light in the room. What should I do? Should I greet her first? Yeah, I guess I should. Wait, how's it? Wait, hold on. I forgot how this menu work? That's quick save. F. Oh, these are quick loads. Okay, that's fine. No. Insert. Or what are those keybinds? Okay, well, I quick saved, so. I think I would play this like what I would do. I think I would lower my head. Aria gave me a slight nod as I quickly bowed my head. Her quiet demeanor suggested that she is a person of few words. Maybe it's because both her face and body were so doll-like, but I felt like she was rather cold and distant.
お父様。
ん？
この部屋、いつ家具の位置を変えたの？
ああ、おとといの夜だよ。手前半分を広めに使えるようにしたいと思ってね。
どうして？
ちょっとした考えがあるんだ。今は内緒にしておくけれど、 アリアにもじきにわかるさ。
そう。
She spoke softly as she slipped between us and made her way out of the room. As she got closer to me, a sweet scent that I had never smelled before softly filled my nostrils. What is that? It smells so good, like a mix of flowers, medicinal herbs, and citrus. I guess beautiful people have a lovely scent to them as well.
部屋に戻るのかい？
Just very normal thoughts to be having.
ええ。あまり具合が良くないの。
そうか。それならゆっくりお休み、アリア。アリアは体が弱くてね。今日も一日寝ているかと思ったけれど、先に紹介できてよかったよ。さて、この部屋のことはどこまで話したかな？
A mild breeze was rustling the curtains. She was just so beautiful. I'm just Ichiko's still thinking about Aria, bro. In my mind, I could still see her facing away from me in front of the frame. What a beautiful painting it would be. The girl depicted in it could turn to face me once again. When our eyes met, my throat got tight and I had trouble breathing properly.
それじゃ、また1時間後に。
Just when I thought I was able to breathe again, the thoughts I had in my mind came spilling out into words as I exhaled. The attractiveness of the person I'm working for has nothing to do with me, but wow, I almost felt like I was betrayed. Like I took a sneak attack straight to the face. Yeah, it's that's pretty true. My heart was still beating like mad and wasn't showing any signs of slowing down. I took some deep breaths to try and bring myself back to equilibrium, then took my time as I looked around the room. Suddenly, I felt as if my field of vision was slowly starting to expand. Yeah, Amane mentioned that to me when he was telling me about the rooms. The ceiling seemed to be quite elaborate. It resembled a go board made out of latticed square timber. It's so cool that I can look up at the ceiling when I lie down every night. I wouldn't say this room is all that big, but it is both beautiful and comfortable. To think that they would let me use a room like this. Feeling incredibly grateful towards Amane, I began to unpack my belongings. Not like it would take very long with the small amount of things I brought. Put my pajamas and underwear away, after which I quickly found myself feeling pretty bored. I casually opened up one of the drawers to find 2 outfits of the same color, neatly folded and tucked away. I slipped the dress over my head and tied the apron that was lying underneath the dress. I tied the ribbon in the back nice and tight, and unbeknownst to me, in that moment, I began to smile. Hehe. A brand new maid's uniform that fits me like a glove, a beautiful fountain visible from my window. It all makes me nervous, but at the same time, it is not the least bit unpleasant. I can't remember any other time in my life where I felt like this. It was a quiet room where nobody can hear me talk to myself. It feels like another lifetime ago when I was silently crying in my 3-person company dorm room last month. Maybe I can finally get a fresh start here. I was 16 years old. There I was, living on my own right at the beginning of adulthood.
よし、着替えも済んだし、そろそろ。ってあれ、まだ30分しか経ってない。どうしよう。せっかくだし、今のうちに2階の部屋を見て回ってみようかな。
Every room in this house is going to be a workplace, so I should be able to come and go as I please. With Amane's words echoing in my mind, I quickly put them into action and began moving.
まずはどの部屋から見てみよう。
I can move around inside the mansion. Yay! My room is next to Aria's. And she got the walk-in closet. Oh my god. Let's go counterclockwise. You can feel the after effects of what happened earlier. Standing in the same place Aria did before, I could feel my heart beating softly. Looking at the room from there, I noticed that the furniture and decor in the room was not only tasteful, but it matched with the rest of the residence interior quite well.
蓄音機にレコード。誰の趣味だろう。
On top of the glass shelves were a bunch of Western-style figurines arranged in a well-balanced, aesthetically pleasing way.
天使がいっぱい。かわいい顔。
There were 7 angel figurines in all. Among them was an angel with this charming, gentle look on its face that really caught my eye. What was its name?
ガブリエル。他の子の名前は。あ、びっくりした。棚に腕が。ここにあるものって絶対全部高いよね。壊さないように気をつけなきゃ。
Welcome to the bathroom. It's so spacious, not to mention incredibly stylish. The bathtub is also deep enough so that you can easily immerse yourself in it. The changing room and the toilet are both neat and tidy. It really makes me wonder if it's okay for me to use this room. Now Monday's robe.
あ、ここが天音さんの部屋。
It is an opulent room with eye-catching wallpaper and decor with red and gold tones. The vibe in here is a bit different from the rest of the house. I guess this is just his personal preference. There's lots of very expensive looking things around the room. Look at that huge camera. It's so cool. I think I just keep going over. I think there's like 2 dialogues I can have in each room. Yeah, Mr. Amane mentioned that he rearranged the furniture in here. It seemed like he had some meaningful reason to do so. Maybe he thought that his daughter would like it. Give me that second dialogue again. The bathroom is both cool and comfortable. I opened window. I see. You can spot the driveway from here. Wow. Wait a second. It looks like the phone on the desk is off the hook. It's kind of strange, but there might be a reason for that. I really shouldn't just hang it up without saying anything. Who knows what would happen. I think I'll just leave it alone for now. Sussy! Each room is both beautiful and charming in its own way. It's fun to just look around, so I don't feel like cleaning them will be such a chore.
そういえば、使用人は私一人なんだよね。家事全部は頼まないって言ってたけど、どうなるんだろう。
Lost in thought, I glanced over at the clock to see that an hour had now passed. I guess it's too late to worry about those things at this point. I looked at myself in the mirror and adjusted my collar. I then took a big, deep breath.
Yoshi, iko.
Walk the fuck in. I stepped out of my room, which I had already begun to get a little attached to.
Coffeeのいい匂い。
いちこくん、来たね。おいで。
はい。
Yes, sir! A huge window. You can clearly see the garden from here.
せっかくだから外が見える席に座るといい。ここでどうかな？
Yerp!
ありがとうございます。広い。綺麗なお庭ですね。花がたくさん。
この小食堂はブレックファストルームと呼ばれていてね。気分よく朝食をとるために設計された部屋なんだ。私も気に入っているけれど、景色が寂しくならないよう年中植え替えが必要だから管理にはなかなか苦労しているよ。
Even from here, I can't quite tell how far back the garden spans. I'm sure it really is tough to maintain an area this big.
さて、焼き菓子でもどうかな。ここから好きなものを選ぶといい。コーヒーはもう少し。
The hot water ran down from a thin spout, then disappeared into the paper filter. The coffee's rich, deep aroma began to spread throughout the room. What a handsome man. It feels weird to say it at this point, but Mr. Amane is far from ordinary looking. You got the heterophobia. He's both tall and refined, so he looks good even when he's just standing around. Wait, what am I thinking? His daughter bears some resemblance to him, but at the same time doesn't. When I see him like this, maybe Mr. Amane is actually the more doll-like of the two?
なんだい？何か質問かな？
Very normal thoughts.
いえ、その。
I have a question.
質問というか、コーヒーお好きなんですか？
That's not what I had in mind.
いえ。
You and your daughter look so much alike.
ごめんなさい。親子でよく似ていらっしゃると思って、つい。
よく言われるよ。自覚はあまりないけれど、どうやらそのようだね。
It makes sense. I mean, they are both incredibly good looking. I'm sure his late wife must have been gorgeous as well. I need to see his wife now.
悪くない。いちこくんも。さあ、どうぞ。
すみません。
それじゃあ、改めて本題に入ろうか。いちこくんにお願いしたい仕事は、掃除が中心にはなるのだけれど、他にも頼みたいことがいくつかあってね。まずは、ここに書かれた仕事を問題なくこなせるようになってもらえると助かるよ。
Amane then reached into his pocket and handed me a white piece of paper. Collect the sheets and laundry in a special basket and place them outside the service entrance to the kitchen before noon. The paper he handed me had 5 tasks written down, with all the specific details I needed.
大まかだけれど、やるべきことは分かりそうかな。
はい。このリストすごく助かります。いつまでに何をやらなきゃいけないのか分かりやすくて。
The music is overpowering the voices.
それはよかった。実際にやってみるとわからないことも出てくるだろうけれど、 その時は相談してくれればいいからね。
ありがとうございます。あれ、でも掃除とこのリスト以外の仕事は誰が？
Oh, there we go. That's the menu. I pressed like everything else than my keyboard, but actually opening the menu is using right click. The backlog. Oh yeah. I said that like I don't know, but I just didn't remember.
うん。その話もしておかないとね。まず、どうして住み込みの使用人がイチコくんだけなのか。
Almost as if he suddenly remembered something, Amane took a sip of coffee and continued on.
今はとても静かだけれど、以前はここで10人以上の使用人が働いていたんだよ。
I killed them all.
みんなにはとても助けられていた。でも、それだけ人が多いと問題も多くてね。盗みはもちろん、人間関係で何度か大きな揉め事も。そういういざこざに年々疲れてしまってね。最終的には利点と欠点を天秤にかけて人のいない気楽さを取った。現状はそんなところかな。
Maybe if you didn't live in a fucking Western mansion, you wouldn't get robbed. I think. That must be why, aside from the daily cleaning, he has outside help from the other chores. There's a nearby dry cleaners that takes care of the laundry every day, and someone from a local Western restaurant comes in to prepare all of the meals. I never even imagined that one could live like this. I guess it's easier than having people always in your house and dealing with the uneasiness of that.
それぞれその道の職人に頼んでしまうのが最も効率がいい。けれど、それでこと足りるかといえば、そうとも言えなくてね。
It's like he has his own, like, DoorDash. Kinda.
私たちと彼らの間をつなぐ役割を君に担ってもらえるととても助かるんだよ。
Taking out the laundry baskets to be picked up and then washing the dishes after meals. As I read through the list of tasks, I realized that it painted a perfect picture of all the things that must have caused Amane trouble in the past. I had to do various chores everywhere I've been, so I feel like I can handle this. Granted, it's not necessarily easy work, but I'm relieved to know that everything I'm being tasked to do is something that I'm at least somewhat familiar with, or have some experience doing.
あとはアリアといい関係を築いてくれれば、それが一番かな。
Become very good friends with my daughter. That's very important. I know what you mean, but like, I was like, oh shit. Gulp? Oh no, I can't do that. Oh, since I'm the only housemaid here, it's only natural that I would be looking after her as well.
聞いてもいいですか？お嬢様はどんな方なんでしょう？
アリアかい？とても素直でいい子だよ。それにとても美しい。それは見ればわかるかな。
Gulp.
はい。あんな綺麗な人、映画の中でも見たことない。
Sheesh.
私も親ながらそう思うよ。しかしあれだけ容姿が際立っていると幼少期は危険な目に遭う。
Mr. Amane, I need to see your dead wife. I want to see your dead wife so bad. She must be so hot.
というべきではないのだろうけれど、体が弱いこともあってずっと自宅学習でね。屋敷から出ずに過ごすようになってからは比較的平穏に暮らしているよ。今は ここへ来るお客様をもてなすことがアリアの仕事のようなものかな。
It's unbelievable. I can't even imagine living like that. I wonder how long it's been since she last left the house. Must be hard being both that beautiful and so physically weak.
その仕事、ここへ来るお客様っていうのは。
私の友人知人もいれば仕事の関係者も多いよ。当然誰でも招待するわけではないけれどね。アリアの話は表立ってしないようにはしていても、噂を聞いて会いたがる者も多い。それが他国の要人だってこともある。
What? What are you... What? Important people? I guess he means politicians or something.
もちろん岩倉の名前に集まってくる者も、それには未だに手を焼いているよ。
The iwakura name. As soon as Amani uttered those words, a conversation I heard a few days ago at the orphanage between a contractor and one of the staff members crossed my mind.
あの子がこんな幸運を隠し持ってたなんてな。ありゃ、名字からしても旧家族のもんだろう。実はさ、見せてもらった住所の家、ちょっくら見てきたんだけど、本当にバカでかいなんてもんじゃねえって。
True.
家族じゃないなら、堅気じゃねえなってくらい。俺も若い女なら、色目でも使って雇ってもらうのにな。
Why do you have to be a young girl? Ah, that was so gross. Just remembering what he said made me want to puke. But I'll give him a little credit because it doesn't seem like he was wrong. I don't know what flavor of nobility they could have been, but based on what I've just heard from Amane, it certainly seems like the Iwakura name carries some historical significance.
無理はしないよういつも言っているのだけれどね。アリアなりに私の立場を考えてくれているようで、堅苦しい場にもいつも同席してくれるんだ。ただ人と関わるのは本当にその時くらいでね。年の近い相手と話すことはまずないから、そういう機会があればとずっと思っていたんだよ。
Now I get it. I can't help but wonder if someone like me would be a good conversation partner for her. I'm sure if he looked around, he could find a more suitable person than me.
過去にいた女中さんはどんな風にお嬢様と接していたんでしょう。
そうだな。仲の良かった女中はいたけれど、彼女なんかは幼い頃からの付き合いだったからね。成長してからはどうだろう。数ヶ月前までいた前任者は参考にならないからな。
前任者？
ああ、彼女はアリアと全く気が合わなくてね。あの子がクビにしてしまったんだ。
クビですか？
参ったよ。アリアも一度決めたことは曲げない性格だから。でもイチコ君は心配いらない。年の離れていた彼女と違って君は同い年だ。二人ならきっとうまくいくよ。私はそう思ってる。
I'm glad he's so optimistic, but just because we're the same age doesn't mean everything is going to be okay. Wait, he really just said we're the same age? Seriously?
おや、コーヒーに手をつけていないね。苦いのはあまり得意じゃなかったかな。
実は。でも焼き菓子と一緒なら平気です。いただきます。
無理することはないよ。砂糖とミルクをたっぷり使うといい。実はアリアも苦いものが苦手でね。ほら、また共通点が見つかった。
Wow. If that's enough to make us get along, then I'll take it.
もうこんな時間か。1階の案内をと思っていたのだけれど、難しそうだな。
お仕事ですか？
ああ、ちょっと急ぎのものがあってね。仕事は明日からで構わないから、今日はどこでも好きに見て回るといい。2階はどうだった？自分の部屋以外も見てみたかい？
はい、あまねさんのお部屋もとても素敵で。
ありがとう。壁紙がお気に入りでね。それじゃ私は書斎に。何かあればいつでも声をかけていいからね。
わかりました。お忙しいところお時間をいただきありがとうございました。
堅苦しい礼なんか必要ないよ。これは雇い主の責務だ。やるべきことはすぐにわかるようになるだろうから、ゆっくり慣れていくといい。気をせいてもいいことはないから。
His voice was so calm and composed. I nodded my head, then Amane gently narrowed his eyes at me before leaving the breakfast room. I heard the sound of a door closing in the distance and felt my shoulders instantly relax in that moment. I really ended up in an unbelievable house, didn't I? I listened carefully to everything he said, but I don't know if I really understood at the time just how amazing it all was. But at least I know what's going to be expected of me for work. I just need to make that my top priority and make sure I do my job well. Mr. Amane really is an incredibly kind gentleman. It's really difficult to get a read on, though. I probably shouldn't rely on him too much. It made me feel a bit empty inside, knowing that I can't just accept his kind words at face value. So when I can think like that, I feel I can hold my head up high.
よし。とりあえず今は1階を見て回って。あれ？今の何の音だろう。
I stepped into the adjoining room while I was trying to track down the sound I just heard.
ここは大食堂?
My footsteps echo louder in here than anywhere else I've been in the house. It's big enough where it could be used as a dance hall. This wall is made of a different material. I think it's called a partition. This one feels like it's a little taller than the one in the entrance hall.
あそこに彫ってあるのは果物?
I looked up and saw an intricately decorated white ceiling. I wanted to look around and admire the beauty of this room some more, but it didn't seem like the sound came from here. All of the windows were closed, and there was no sign of anyone around.
この壁の小窓、配線口？ということは隣はやっぱり厨房だ。
Nice ass kitchen. There was a pantry connected to it with an opening in the wall facing the dining room that had a huge serving table set up. Even though there's only 2 people living here, this kitchen is bigger than the one of the orphanage. I guess it would really come in handy if they ever do big parties in the dining room.
結局さっきの音は何だったんだろう。やなり？重い。
That sure caught me off guard.
これでやっと最後か。もうなんで今日に限ってこんなに暑いの？
Was she the one making the noise? Maybe I heard the back door close? Looks like there's bottles of liquor in these boxes, so maybe she's from the liquor store?
ああ、びっくりした。あなたは、もしかして新しい女中さん？いつからいた？今来たとこ？ごめんね。全然気づかなくて。今日からだってあまねさんに聞いてたのに、もうすっかり。私、宮内すいです。この家のご飯係。ご飯係？ってことは近所の洋食屋さんの。そうそう、 キッチンプリウス。岩倉家には2年前から家族でお世話になってるんだけど、この春から普段の食事は私一人で全部やらせてもらってるんだ。
Wow. She does this all on her own? That's incredible.
それで女中さんのお名前は？
I mean, you're just cooking like for 2 people, right? So it's like, okay.
北川一子です。いくつ？ 16。じゃあ同い年だ。なんか嬉しい。よろしくね、一子。
I can only hire 16-year-olds.
スイって呼んで。
I felt a bit overwhelmed by her bright and expressive mannerisms that clashed with her otherwise cool yet tense features. Nevertheless, I somehow managed to nod along to what she was saying, and
ちなみに、まかないも任されてるから、リクエストがあったらこっそり言ってね。
Sui said this with a smile as she flashed me her perfectly aligned teeth. Her casual and down-to-earth demeanor just naturally puts me at ease. Just perfectly aligned teeth is such a funny thing to point out. I've hardly had the chance to meet anyone my own age ever since I graduated from junior high school, and yet somehow I managed to meet 2 people my age today. Aria and Sui. I guess everyone around here has interesting, unique names. I'm just Ichiko.
さてと、とりあえずこれ台にあげちゃわないと。はあ、おいしょっと。あ、待って、ダメかも。なにこれ、重っ。ああ、落とさなくてよかった。ありがとう、いちこ。今日は荷物運びが多くって、もう体力使い切っちゃったみたい。すごいよ、こんなに重いもの。よく一人で運べたね。腕力には自信あるんだ。毎日食材の積み下ろしをしてるから。でも今日みたいな暑い日くらいみんな助けてくれたっていいじゃんね。そこの守衛さんなんて目があっても見て見ぬふりだよ。あまねさんにはいっつもペコペコしてるくせに。
I see. I feel like I learned something about this guy. Sui's so full of emotion when she talks. I could listen to her all day. She went through a wide range of ever-changing expressions as she told me more stories. I nodded along attentively. Before I knew it, with kitchen knife in hand, Sui had all the ingredients she was going to use neatly lined up on the counter. I looked on with bewilderment as she both quickly and evenly chopped up all the potatoes on the cutting board. Wow, she really is a professional.
料理はいつもここで作ってるの？日によるかな。最近はうちの店で作ってからここへ持ってくることが多いかも。ちなみに今日はビーフシチュー。私の得意料理だから期待してて。
Yerp. She's amazing. I felt like she instantly switched from shooting me a friendly smile to intensely focusing on her handiwork. I know we're the same age, but Sui seems way more self-reliant and grown-up than me. This really isn't the time for me to be daydreaming. I should take this opportunity to check out the rooms I haven't seen yet, so I can do things right when I start working tomorrow. True. With that, I'm gonna take a break! A little break time. They really didn't skimp on giving me preserved egg in my rice porridge today. Rice party? Rice porridge. Porridge. It's so good. I get like a chunk of like preserved egg like every bite is so good. It's like the most eggs they've given me. I wonder if they know me, the place I ordered this from. I usually order the same 2 items at least. That's funny. Okay, gaming. Do you want to adjust my lighting thing? Oops. Why did that explode? I like that. That's cool. Okay, we're in the kitchen right now. So let's go counterclockwise. What a grand chandelier. It makes me wonder if it'd come crashing down in an earthquake. Real. This door has a large glass window. I could get out to the terrace from here. There's a small table and some chairs. I guess they eat out here sometimes. I never even imagined being able to do such elegant things. Drawing room. I think this is the drawing room where they entertain guests. The exquisite furniture is arranged beautifully. Yerp. I felt like walking into a church you would find overseas. There's another door in here. Let's see. Oh, looks like it's connected to the sunroom. Then we go to the sunroom. That is nice. That's so fancy. I've always admired the sunrooms I spotted at rich people's houses in my neighborhood, but this one thoroughly puts any of those to shame. Both the size and design are on another level. The heat haze made it a bit hard to see, but that was definitely a tall man. He had a stepladder slung on his right shoulder and a huge pair of pruning scissors in his other hand. It seemed like he was tending to the garden in this heat all by himself. The burp alert. I mean, this garden is massive. There's no way it would be maintained without a gardener. It made sense when I thought about it, but the idea that someone would have a dedicated gardener at their home is still something else. You kinda have to for a mansion. Storeroom. This looks a little dusty. I guess that's because there hasn't been anyone else working at the house. It's pretty tidy for the most part, but it still looks a bit messy with all these things piled up. Make a kitchen. Oh my, something smells wonderful.
いい匂いでしょう。ビーフシチューのお肉、野菜とは別で炒めてるんだ。いちこ、ちょっと味見してみなよ。待ってね。ちょっぴり塩コショウしてっと。はい、フォーク。ありがとう。じゃあ、一つだけ。このお肉、美味しい。でしょ？ 私が言うのもなんだけど、焼くだけで美味しいお肉って本当に焼くだけでいいと思うんだよね。だってそれが一番美味しいもん。
確かにそうなのかも。でも私はスイのビーフシチューもすごく楽しみ。
ありがとう。焼いただけ肉に負けないように頑張ります。
Sorry, after eating my porridge again in the break, I wanted to eat more. It tastes so good. Every time I stepped into the dining room, I couldn't help but get distracted by the beautiful decor. I just want to touch everything I see.
玄関ホールより腰壁が高いだろう。
あまねさん。
すまない。驚かせたね。実質に書類を取りに行くところで君の姿が見えたから、つい。
いいえ、おかしな声を上げてすみません。この部屋もすごく音が響きますね。
ああ、まさにそれがこの高い腰壁の効果だよ。晩餐会やパーティーで人が集まる際に遠くまで声が届くよう計算して設計されてる。極めて優れた建築と景観。我々が手放せばいずれは文化財になるだろうね。
Does he mean it's like a national treasure? Makes me wonder if it's really okay for a nobody like me to live in a place like this.
とりあえずどこも傷つけないように爪だけでも短くしておこう。テーブルの上片付けておかないと。
I wonder if it's okay for me to throw away the filter with the coffee grounds in it. Is there a special way I'm supposed to clean this spot?
とりあえず運ぶだけ運んでおいて、後のことはあまねさんに聞いてからにしよう。
There's a strange scent in here. It smells different from all the other rooms. Scented candles? Is that where the smell's coming from? I've never heard of a drawing room, but also I guess I don't really have ideas of big mansion rooms, really. Besides the usual common middle class average household rooms. I have a nice view of the fountain from the window to my left. The room next to this one feels like it would have an even better view though. Storeroom. It's pretty dim with no windows in here. Definitely wouldn't want to spend long periods of time in here. True. I can't even go back into the kitchen. Okay.
なんとなくだけど、これで全体の間取りが分かった気がする。あとは、そうだ。今のうちに外の廃棄箱も。ねえ。
Oh my god, hi!
お嬢様、どうされたんですか？
私、
はい。
お腹が空いたの。朝から何も食べていないから倒れそう。
ああ、そうですか。お腹が。お腹すみません。すぐに何か用意できるか聞いてきます。
ええ、そうして。
Oh my god. I thought my heart was going to burst out of my chest. I turned around and her beautiful face was just right there in front of me. Damn it, this is awful. I made myself look like an idiot in front of her. At this rate, she's going to end up hating me. I need to turn things around quickly. She's fumbling so bad. It's so funny. Girl, don't faint. We're gonna get you some stew. We're gonna get you some stew.
スイがいてくれて本当によかった。
My first day came to a close without incident, and I breathed a huge sigh of relief. We put together some warm bread from the toaster oven, steak, and some veggies to garnish. The beef stew was still cooking. Oh, fuck. So we had to come up with something so we didn't have to keep Aria waiting. Thanks to Sui's quick thinking, we were able to bring her a delicious meal pretty quickly.
美味しい。お嬢様、食事する姿まで綺麗だった。
Even just thinking about her like that is enough to make me feel this strange spellbound feeling. I don't know if my mic picked up this weird squeezing sound that came out of my throat after I drank water and started speaking. Oh my goodness.
どれも一口しか食べないのには驚いたけど、あれだけ華奢だと仕方ないのかも。
No,
私とは真逆。
I'm for real an eater. Looking down, I can see my bloated tummy even though it's already a few hours since I ate. But still, Sui really is an incredible chef. Everything she makes tastes amazing. With skill like that, it's no wonder why they were able to leave her in charge of this by herself.
今何時？あれ、まだ9時か。
I peered out the window and saw the stars twinkling in the night sky. Suddenly in that moment, I felt a rush of sadness, like my heart was being squeezed.
そっか。
It was that first night feeling. I felt it when I first moved into the orphanage, whenever I went to live with foster parents, and when I moved into the company dormitory at my last job. Even though everything about this place was so much nicer than the ones before, I still felt that same depression, loneliness, and anxiety. It was like my entire body was remembering those feelings.
けど今日は平気。全然何も怖くない。
This was the first day of a whole new experience. The wave of depression that suddenly washed over me slowly, but surely began to fade away.
ベッドもふかふかで気持ちいい。
I wonder what tomorrow has in store for me.
あ、そういえば二人が起きる時間を聞いてなかった。どうしよう。6時に起きれば間に合うかな。いや、やっぱり5時にしておこう。仕事初日から寝坊扱いになったら最悪だし。
I reached for the alarm clock I brought with me and set the shortest hand.
これでよしと。
My eyelids slowly began to close as I gazed up at the beautiful ceiling. Soon after, I drifted off to sleep. I can't hear a thing coming from the next room. With that thought in my mind, I found myself on the precipice of a dream. There's a sweet scent in the air. Arya turned to face me as she stood in front of that same window. She was radiant. I was being engulfed by that light shining in from behind her. Without any resistance, I began to fall into a deep sleep. Oh, think so cute girl before falling to sleep.
いい？
ああ、もういいよ。お疲れ様。
Weapons? Drugs?
今日はえらく不機嫌だね。少し痛くしてしまったかな。
つまらない冗談ね。
そう怒らないでくれ。 何がそんなに気に入らないんだい？
分かっているでしょ。相談もしないで。どうしてあんな子を連れてきたの？
なるほど。そのことか。ちょっと試しにと思ってね。やはり女中がいないのは不便だろ？それに何よりアリアの暇つぶしになると思ってね。アリア、そうすねないでくれ。最近忙しくてあまりそばにいられないから、君のために何かしたかったんだ。わかってくれるね？
お父様。
気に入らなければいつでもクビにすればいい。それだけのことさ。おっと、すまない。無理をさせてしまったかな。疲れたね。大丈夫。ほら、目を閉じて。息を吸って、息を吐いて。そう。それでいい。そのまま、ゆっくり。おやすみ。アリア、おやすみ。
What is he doing to her? What is he doing to her? Oh, what the fuck?
気持ちいい。
I think that's where the demo ends, and then they gave me like 2 extra like scenarios that happened not chronologically and like in a different time. So I don't know when those 2 scenarios even happened. What? Oh my god, that's just what's going on? I woke up that morning before my alarm clock went off. Taking a peek around the house, it seemed like nobody else was awake yet. Sheesh, even in my dreams she was incredibly beautiful. I tied my hair up, straightened my collar, and started a new day. I guess starting a new day.
何から始めよう。この時間から掃除機はうるさいだろうから。あれ、もういい匂いがする。この匂い、お味噌汁？スイ？
いちこおはよう。早いね。
スイこそいつもこんなに早く来てるの？
今日は店の用事が多いから先に朝と昼の準備を済ませに来たんだ。簡単に温め直せる献立にしたからあまねさんたちに出す前に火にかけてね。
わかった。朝は和食？
毎日じゃないけど今日は和食。油揚げのお味噌汁にアサリとキャベツの酒蒸しでしょ。
Oh
それから納豆
shit.
とたくあんも。
Oh, sounds good.
おいしそう。どんな料理も完璧なんだ。
料理なら一通りね。いちこはもうお腹空いてる？食べられそうなら今のうちに用意しちゃうけど。
いいの？
もちろん。座っててすぐだから。
ありがとう。朝からスイの料理が食べられるなんて幸せ。
動けなくなっちゃうと困るから昨日みたいに食べ過ぎないように気をつけてね。
確かにそれは気をつけないと。
I'm getting the post-meal sleepies from eating all this porridge. That's so good.
いちこってば素直で可愛い。
かわいい？
そうだ。可愛い子には
Oh
デザー
shit!
トをおまけ
Bonus
してあげる。
dessert for being cute! I initially thought she might be teasing me, but it didn't seem like that was the case. Sui grabbed an orange out of a paper bag and quickly started peeling the skin with a knife. I'm so embarrassed, but also happy? This feels really weird. I can feel my cheeks getting hot, so I tried to stealthily cool them down with the back of my hand. It didn't really dawn on me when I met Amane, but I guess I have a hard time handling compliments. Maybe it's because I haven't really been complimented by anyone up until now, even as a joke, so I found myself getting all flustered and reacting to every nice thing people say.
そうだ。スイ、あまねさんが普段何時に起きるか知ってる？
7時には朝食の準備を整えておくよう言われてるから6時半とか。何聞きそびれたの？実は。そっか、だからこんなに早起きしたんだ。偉いね、いちこは。そんな風に臨機応変に動けるなら、きっとここでの生活もうまくいくよ。
I couldn't help but smile and feel a sense of relief when I heard those words. Her warmth makes me a little self-conscious, but also very reassured. I can't help but wonder why Mr. Amani and Sue are so nice to me, even though we just met. Are they just good people? Or maybe this is actually normal? Two hours later.
あまねさん、おはようございます。
おはよう、いちこくん。
Just as Sui said, Amane arrived at the breakfast room dressed and ready to start his day right around 7 o'clock.
調子はどうだい？何か困ったことは？
Yeah, being all ready for the day at 7 is crazy. Especially in a suit.
いえ、今のところは。
そうか。朝食の準備をありがとう。それじゃあ、早速いただこうかな。
はい。お嬢様は？
まだ寝ているんじゃないかな。体調の波があるからね。朝起きるかどうかは本人に任せているんだ。食事の時間に関しては迷惑をかけることも多いと思うけれど、よろしく頼むよ。
なるほど。かしこまりました。今の音は。
なあ、問題ないよ。紹介しよう。
紹介？
あまねさん、お迎えに上がりました。
ご苦労様。いちこくん、紹介するよ。秘書の吉野あかりくんだ。
はじめまして、吉野です。
はじめまして。昨日からお世話になっています。女中の北川一子です。
As I said this and bowed my head, I noticed her slightly narrowing her eyes behind her silver-rimmed glasses. She brushed aside her long black hair behind her ears as her long enamel-painted nails shone a shade of light red. Wow, she's quite the sexy one! That's crazy to say! Ichiko!
私がいない時も出入りすることがあるけれど、驚く必要はないからね。
あまねさん、朝刊はご覧になりますか？
結構、車の中で読むよ。
There's something about this house coupled together with their appearances. I'm sure this is just some ordinary conversation for them, but for me, it feels like I'm watching a scene from a TV drama. It's all so grown up.
そうだ、いちこくん。今日の予定だけれど。
はい、何でしょう。
10時を過ぎてもアリアが部屋から出てこなければ、声をかけて起こしてくれるかな。今日は午後に来客があるから、それまでに支度をさせないと。
わかりました。でも、もし体調が悪かったら。
大丈夫。君は起こしてくれさえすればいい。後のことはアリアが自分で決めるから心配はいらないよ。それから来客時の対応はあかりに任せてあるから、それも気を使う必要はない。今日はこれから出勤して昼過ぎにはお客様と戻るつもりだ。それまで家を任せていいかな。
はい、しっかり掃除しておきます。
気持ちのいい返事をありがとう。頼りにしているよ、いちこくん。
That really gets my nerves going, but I have to get my head together. Since there's guests coming, I'll start off with the drawing room.
そういえば、いちこくん、絵を描くための道具は何か持ってきたのかい？
道具ですか？ スケッチ用の写生帳を。
そうか。他に必要なものはあるかな。欲しいものがあれば言ってくれれば用意するよ。
そんな、ありがとうございます。でもまだ絵を描く余裕なんてとても。
余裕なんかよりも気持ちだよ。水彩でも油彩でも興味があるなら挑戦すべきだ。君には才能がある。あの時買った絵も私は大切に会社に飾っているんだよ。
本当ですか？
もちろん。あかりもとても気に入っていてね。
ええ。だってすごく素敵ですもの。
それはありがとうございます。でも
I felt bad knowing he would be spending money on me. That, coupled with the embarrassment I was feeling, made me feel like all I could do was shake my head. But despite that, Amani continued on, with a serious look on his face.
今は女性も手に職をつける時代だ。そんな風に謙遜して機会を遠ざけてしまうのはもったいない。一度本気で考えてみるといい。その気があるなら私はいつでも手を貸すよ。
一度本気で。
I never imagined that Amani would not only appreciate my art that much, but think about my future too. After all, I found myself feeling more bewildered than excited. Not a single person in my life acknowledged anything positive about me until I came here, and now I'm suddenly getting praised all the time. It's almost like I'm not really my old self anymore. Everyone else always told me that I just have to face reality. I knew quite well what reality was like, or so I thought.
けど、現実って自分が思ってるものとは結構違うのかも。というより場所によって変わるとか、今までの普通とここでの普通が全然違うのと同じで。
No matter how I think about it, I can't imagine ever being able to make a living off my paintings. If I'm being honest with myself, I would like to paint more.
この環境にもう少し慣れたら、改めて天音さんに相談してみようかな。でもまずは目の前のことを頑張らなきゃ、掃除機を持ってっと。
Yippee! I'll go to the study this time. From the moment I opened the door, I was overwhelmed by the sheer amount of books stacked on shelves that were taller than me. A faint smell of ink and paper filled the air in the study. I thought they were all foreign books I couldn't read. Then I found some Japanese novels. The lower shelves were packed full of picture books. It seemed like these were arranged according to the type of content they have. There are so many art-related books. Next to them, let's see, international style, room aesthetics. These ones seem to be about architecture. I casually picked up one of the books and noticed that the cover was a bit worn. As I gently flipped through the pages, I took extra care to make sure I didn't tear them. It's old, but still full of design drawings and photographs. I guess these are blueprints? Every facet of it is incredibly detailed.
お寺に博物館に。あれ、この公爵って屋根の形がちょっと違うけど、この屋敷に外観がよく似てる。JC 遺作集第3巻。これってもしかしてこの屋敷を作った建築家の？
Mr. Amani did mention that this house was built during the Taisho era. I guess the Duke's house was too. Maybe the Iwakura residence is in this book too. I gleefully flipped through the pages, hoping I would spot it. But alas, I couldn't find any photos or blueprints that resembled this house or any of the other pages. This is the third volume, so maybe it's in a different book? I checked the other volumes too, but ultimately came up empty in my search.
1巻から3巻と5巻。 4巻が抜けてるから岩倉邸はそれに乗ってるのかも。どこかの棚に紛れてるのかな。
I'm scared of these, like, weird implications of a mystery. A mystery I don't know what of at all yet. I should probably clean up the inside of the fireplace too. Oh.
ダメだ。この鉄の扉全く開かない。冬以外は手入れもしなくていいってこと？
Girl, no one's using the fireplace in summer. It's a little fountain. Is it just for decoration? I wonder if water comes out of it. Oh! Oh, see, right here. That's a fountain. I opened up the windows to let some fresh morning air into the room. I think I'll head over to the garden for a bit. Wow! I was greeted by the sight of beautiful greenery gently swaying in the soft breeze. The colors of the plants look much more vibrant in person compared to looking at them from the window.
甘酸っぱい匂いがする。どこかの木に実がなってる？
I absent-mindedly glanced over at the distant trees surrounding the flower bed, then looked down at my feet as I turned to head back to the house. Leaves and dirt are blowing all the way over here. I need to make sure I clean the terrace as good as I can. Every room in the house is lovely, but I think the dining room might be my favorite. The delicate carvings on even the beams, the heavy mantel freshly polished with a dry cloth. Everything was so fascinating that I couldn't help but stop and admire it. I wonder if all these patterns were handcrafted. If so, I can't help but think of how long that must have taken. I was so inspired by the incredible craftsmanship and attention to detail of the architect and those who worked on the house, so I took out my sketchbook. These flower carvings stand out the most, but the intricacy of these patterns is really fascinating. They have a bit of a different vibe from the rest of the house, but they're still a perfect fit. How does someone even come up with ideas like this?
どこも素敵で、いくつ目があっても足りないや。それに、どこも広すぎて掃除する手も足りない。
I'm curious how the dining room looks when you look at it from the kitchen through the service hatch. Yeah, nothing to get excited about. Nobody goes into the storeroom, so I'll just quickly...
もう重たいものを変なところに置かないでよ。
I scanned through the various spines of the books as I dusted off the shelves. Strange. There's hardly any dust on this shelf. The books are all mixed up too. There are some newer books here too, so maybe this is where Amane keeps the books that he's currently reading. I took another peek around, but the fourth volume was nowhere to be found. What a shame. Maybe someone has it in a different room, or maybe they lent it out to someone? Sussy! I could clearly see the fountain from this window. Oh, maybe that's because this is the drawing room? Perhaps the fountain could be there more so for the guests to enjoy? If that's the case, their hospitality is on another level. Sunroom. What is this decor hanging from the ceiling? It absorbs the light and creates this sparkling effect. It's beautiful. I'd love to have something like this hanging in my own room someday. Wow. Breakfast room. No, the wind blew some dirt into the room. I need to be more mindful of when I keep the windows open. True. I need to put some fresh water in this vase. I wonder who arranged these flowers. Maybe it was Miss Yoshino? True. Kitchens tend to get dirty pretty easily, but it's already so clean in here. I'm sure that's because Sui takes extra care to clean up nicely after she's done using it. This is how a real professional chef works. She's so awesome. She's so freaking epic.
これなんだろう。当番表
Toshiko, Toshie, Sato, Takahashi, Suematsu. How many were there in total? I guess they really did have a lot of people working here at some point. It's really hard to imagine when I see how things are now. Okay. I looked through every room twice. Okay, okie dokie. Alright, there's the second floor. I did a little sweeping outside the entranceway, and with that, all the areas that would be able to be seen were all taken care of. I peered down at my watch and noticed that it was just before 10 o'clock. In this house, if you're not extra conscious of it, time will absolutely fly by.
にしても上から何も音がしない。お嬢様まだ起きて
It's
ないの
almost 10! Gotta wake up Aria! Just meeting her made me super nervous, and now I'm the one that has to wake her up. Even if I am really nervous, I can't just ignore my responsibilities. However, just as I stood in front of her door,
お嬢様いちこです。もうお目覚めですか？お嬢様お嬢様
I held my ear close to the door, but I couldn't hear a peep. Not much else I can do. I guess I'll just have to go in and see for
お
myself.
嬢様お休みのところ失礼します。
I gently opened the door and suddenly found myself in an elegant, refined, classic-looking space that was second to none. Look at the cloth in the bottom. Even then, she's a real sleeper, so her bed sheets are all just like fucked up. I took a step into the room, and the sweet aroma that filled the entire room began to caress my skin. It's Aria's scent. It's powerful enough to make my head spin a little. What a wonderful smell. Hang on, I definitely don't have time to get caught up in this. It's already past 10 o'clock.
お嬢様あまねさんに頼まれて起こしに来ました。もう10時でお昼からお客様が来るそうです。
Nothing. Not a single response. I was trying my best to not do anything to upset her, but I wasn't going to get anywhere at this rate. I gave up on trying to keep my distance, then made my way towards the bed.
お嬢様そろそろ
She lay there sound asleep like a doll. Her face in that moment was so beautiful it took my breath away. Unbelievable. Why in the world is she so beautiful? She's like a princess from a fairy tale. I can't just stand here and gawk at her. I need to wake her up.
お嬢様
Now what? She just won't wake up. Should I shake her a little? But... Oh! Hi!
あなた
何をしている
お嬢様を起こしに天音さんに頼まれて。
の？もう朝。
10時。
What's going on? Is she mad? Oh jeez, I have to say something.
朝食はいかがですか？お腹は。
空いてないわ。
それなら体調はいかがですか？
いつも通りよ。ねえ、少し窓を開けてくれる？新鮮な空気が吸いたいの。
はい。
終わったらお湯を溜めてきて。今から湯船に浸かるから。
お風呂ですね。もちろんです。すぐに準備してきます。
待って。
はい。
やっぱり食べるわ。朝食も運んできて。
わかりました。ではどちらを先に？どちらもすぐに準備します。
The fumbler.
空が暗い。嫌な天気。
What?
やっぱりこうなるんじゃない。他人がいると手間が増える。本当に面倒だわ。
I guess she's a pretty moody girl, huh? I'm glad I can learn a bit more about what kind of person she is. I just hope I can manage.
もう入れる？
I heard a voice call out, then turned to find Aria standing there in the changing room. Her hands were reaching- oh god. I'm dying. Her hands were reaching behind her back as if she was about to start getting undressed! Girl, let me leave first!
何？まだなの？
Oh, she's so
もう
pissed.
すぐです。すぐですから。
No! Oh god, I have to hurry! Ugh, what a painful gaze. I think I just realized something. Maybe the person before me was fired because they couldn't handle her personality? I left the bathroom and immediately ran to the kitchen to reheat her breakfast, which had gone cold hours ago. I hastily headed upstairs, taking every precaution I could to not spill the miso soup I had just reheated. Thankfully, it seemed like Arya was still in the bathroom. Whew, made it in time. Sure enough, that sense of relief lasted for all but a fleeting moment. Bed sheets, which when I saw them were perfectly fine, had been ripped off the bed and thrown onto the floor. They're torn up too? What's going on?
それ、そのまま捨てておいて。
お嬢様、どうしてですか？
肌触りが気に入らなかったの。それだけよ。
それだけ？
食事は？
そのテーブルに置いてもいいですか？
ええ、お願い。
She's watching me. Am I putting the food down in some weird way?
済んだら、ショールを持ってきてくれる？
ショールって。
そこ、衣装部屋の中にあるわ。入ってすぐのところにかけてあるから。
Although I was completely absorbed in this strange, unique situation Arya had me in, I nodded accordingly and headed over to the door she was pointing at. This is the first time I've ever seen or heard of a dressing room. Wow. As I opened the door, I found my eyes fixated on the rows of dresses and shoes lined up like they were showpieces. Arya's room alone is already quite spacious, but this room is quite large in its own right. Imagine that's about as big as my room. Right, a shawl. Is this lace lap blanket here? Is it this lace lap blanket here?
お嬢様、こちらでしょうか。ええ、ありがとう。
Yippee!
いえ。
Okay, now what am I supposed to do? Should I stay with her or should I leave her be?
このお部屋のお掃除ですが、シーツを変えるのと掃除機がけだけで問題ないでしょうか。ええ、そうね。衣装部屋は放っておいて。お願いしたい時には声をかけるわ。わかりました。他にも何かあればいつでもおっしゃってくださいね。
I could see Aria nod slightly as she gracefully picked up the bowl of miso soup I placed on the table. She took a sip of the soup without making a sound.
おいしい。
The way she spoke so softly to herself was really cute. Putting aside the thing with the sheets. She might be the moody type, but I don't really think she's a bad person. I just can't help but wonder if I'm actually getting along with her or not. It's strange. When I see her eating like this, I forget about all the stress and panic from before. It's almost like this is my reward. I'm sure having this much freedom makes things hard for Mr. Amane sometimes. Makes me wonder if she's ever made a scene in front of his guests. I can't help but wonder how she interacts with others.
吉田先生、お目にかかれて光栄です。
Oh my god. She's smiling.
先週オーストリアから帰国されたばかりだとか、早くお話を伺いたいわ。ね、お父様。
Oh, such a completely different person. She's locking in so fucking hard right now.
ああ、そうだね。
吉田先生、どうぞこちらへ。行きましょう、先生。
While I was watching this unfold from across the house, Amane looked back at me and flashed a little smile. I bowed in response. He then nodded at me before heading into the drawing room.
今の何だったんだろう。お嬢様、全くの別人だった。
That's what I'm saying! I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
お疲れ様。って大丈夫？朝と顔が違うけど。
The sun was starting to set, so Sui had arrived to start making preparations for dinner. She was giving me this confused look as she spoke to me. I guess the fatigue I was feeling was written all over my face. Sui sat me down and proceeded to serve me some tea like I was no different from their guests.
へえ、アリアさんってそんな不思議な人なんだ。たまに玄関に出てきたところを見るくらいで、ほとんど話したことがないから、どんな人なんだろうってずっと気にはなってたんだ。
Oh god, I don't know if you could see it through the stream, but with Sui here so close, the art style is so like scratchy in a nice way. There's so many like brush strokes. Even subtly on your skin too. I like texture. It's crazy. I love it.
見かける限りはいつも笑顔って印象だったけど、そっか、普通に考えたらイチコの前での姿が素で、お客さんの前では猫をかぶってるってことだよね。だとするとかなり大変そう。この家本当によく人が来るから。
そんなに？天音さんも来客対応はお嬢様にとって仕事みたいなものだとは言ってたけど。
うん、もちろん波はあるけど、1週間毎日パーティーなんてこともあるくらい。
Oh my god, what the fuck?
1週間毎日？
外には高そうな車が何台も止まってね。うちもそういう時期は大忙し。どう見てもみんな庶民じゃないし、 その人たちの相手をするのは相当大変なんじゃないかな。普段気ままなのはその反動かも。
そっか。あまりに別人だったから驚いちゃったけど、お嬢様も大変なのかな。
I don't get it. Like, what's Arya's purpose? To serve the guests or something? Like, to entertain them? Besides, like, they talk about, like, fancy rich people things they do, and she'll be like, oh my god, yes, exactly. Like, what's going on? What is she doing?
まあ今の話だけじゃわかんないけどさ、そう思っておくとこれから腹が立つことがあっても多少は多めに見る気になるかなって。
つい。そうだね。ありがとう。
True. I guess she wasn't really all that upset about how Arya was acting, but having her sympathy was still really nice. I mean, who doesn't act polite in front of house guests? Why did I think Arya would be any different in that regard?
あ、大変。バター溶けてる。早く使わなきゃ。大丈夫？ギリギリだけど大丈夫。ちなみに夕食はポークソテーね。
Oh shit.
ソテー？
豚肉のバター炒め。
Sui said this with a cheeky smile as she turned on the stove. I guess she had the ingredients all prepared and ready to cook because they were transformed into a tasty-looking dish in the blink of an eye. Oh my god, the burglar. They were transformed into a tasty-looking dish in the blink of an eye.
それは
特製のネギソース。ポークソテーによく合うんだ。
へえ、そうなんだ。
Uh-oh. I hate onions. But since it's a sauce, it's not like I have to use it.
あれ、その反応。もしかしてネギ嫌い？
I hate onions! Can't just lie to her. She could work around it.
ネギは好きではないかも。
そっか。他の料理なら勧められるものもあるけど、このソースはネギの味がしっかりするから厳しいかも。代わりに味付け濃いめにしておくね。
ごめんね、ありがとう。スイはやっぱり何でも食べられるの？苦手なものは？
苦手はこれと言ってないかな。何でも食べるから大きいんだねってよく言われる。
Not fat at all, bro. What the fuck?
スイが大きい？それなら私の方が大きい気が。
嘘。イチコ立ってみて。
Let's go belly to belly.
本当だ。
Okay, I thought-
の方が背が高い。
Never mind.
イチコ何センチ
159センチ。同級生の平均からは9センチくらい高いって中学の先生が。
Wait, that is pretty tall for 16. How am I? I forgot. I'm like 160 or something. Or maybe somewhere similar to Ichiko. Did I black out? Yeah. I'm 158 centimeters tall. My teacher in middle school said I was 9 meters taller than the average girl my age. No, she said that. Never mind. I'm stupid. Right? Oh, now I wonder how tall Aria is. Ichiko trying to make everything about Aria somehow. So funny. I have to look up when I talk to her, so I guess she's around 170 centimeters? She reminds me of a foreign actress. Damn!
なんだ。好き嫌いがないのと身長は全然関係ないんじゃん。ち ちょっとがっかり。
We continued the conversation from there. After she noticed that I had eaten most of my meal, Sui started packing up her belongings. She said that she had a lot of things to help out with back home.
じゃあ仕事初日最後まで頑張ってね。
うん、頑張る。ありがとう。
I'm really glad I got to talk to Sui. It's so reassuring to have someone I can speak freely and openly with. Although...
お嬢様に気に入られなかったら、スイともすぐにお別れなんだよね。
No! The sudden realization made me feel absolutely hopeless. What will I do next if I get kicked out of here? I was sure that there were places for me to work out there, but I will probably never have another chance to work in a place like this.
どんな風に接すれば、お嬢様は私を必要だと思ってくれるんだろう。
The days passed by as I searched for the answer to that question. As I tried to get closer to this elusive person, the more distant she felt. I could only muster the will to simply do what I was told. Just like that, a week had already passed. Without feeling like I was getting any closer to my answer, my first July in the residence came to an end. Wow. It's absolutely not like Date Everyone. Almost like it was a reflection of my faint anxiety, the drizzling July rain continued to fall. Something smells different than usual. It was the suffocating smell of damp, wet dirt. With no sunlight coming in today, the atmosphere in the sunroom was both damp and dreary. Mr. Amane already left, and all of my tasks for this morning are already done. I do feel like my cleaning skills have improved, though. My relationship with Aria has not changed one bit since my first day. Whenever I see her, I just simply do whatever she asks of me.
まだ1週間だし、こんなもの?
It makes me nervous, but I have no idea what I should do about it. On one hand, it might be good to just do exactly what's asked of me and never rock the boat. But on the other hand, I highly doubt that would meet Mr. Amane's expectations of me. Why does this have to be so hard? I pulled out my sketchbook in an attempt to shake off some of these intrusive thoughts, but...
気分が乗らない。
It's almost 1 o'clock. So we brought our breakfast and lunch over this morning. We don't have any scheduled visitors today, so I don't technically need to wake up Miss Aria.
一応、声だけでもかけておこうかな。
Oh!
起きないなら先にご飯食べちゃおうっと。
The hunger lure.
お嬢様、おはようございます。あれ、お嬢様。
She's not in bed. Maybe she's in the bathroom? If she's already awake, she might already be getting something to eat, in which case, I'll be waiting a while before I can eat. Feeling a little twinge of disappointment, I turned around and headed towards the door. That's when... Oh, the door to the dressing room is open? Ah! Maybe she's... Ah!
お嬢様、衣装部屋ですか?
There was a narrow opening in the door, so I got closer and peered through. That's when I saw something sparkling in the back of the dimly lit room. What is that? Ay, no, this feels like a very important decision. That calls for a juicy save file. I'm going in! I'm going in! Maybe it's an accessory or something? Getting the chance to look around the room again, I realized it looked like a boutique you'd find in the ritzy part of the city. There was delicate lace, fancy ribbons, and extravagant embroidery. I couldn't imagine how much any of these dresses or shoes would cost if I saw them in a store.
さっき光って見えたのはこれ?
Jewels in a wider range of colors were sewn into the sleeves of the dress. When I looked closer, I noticed there was a skirt with a similar design placed next to it. Everything around me was adorned with glistening stones, beads, pearls, and sequins. Sequins? I always forget. I forget what those are. How those are pronounced. It's like I've been whisked away to a dream world you'd only see in the popular girls' magazines. Simply gazing at all of this made my heart race. I wonder what other clothes she has. I want to keep looking around, but I should go find her. I called out to her and waited for a response. There was no response, and I couldn't hear anything else either. Well, in that case, I'll look just a little bit more. Oh, the storage wardrobe all the way in the back is the only one with a door. I wonder if there's something really, truly special in here. Maybe a fur coat or something? The anticipation was making my heart beat like crazy. Maybe it's a dress with wings on it. It was absolutely nothing like what I was expecting, and in that moment I unwittingly let out a disappointed sigh. I really thought it'd have something really incredible, but it was filled with plain white dresses. Plain white dresses. Come to think of it, she's always wearing dresses like this. That's when I had a striking realization. She had such an unbelievable selection of clothes, and yet she's always wearing dresses just like these. Does she just like collecting extravagant clothes? Or maybe she only wears them during parties? I'm sure she must really like this kind of dress, but sheesh, I don't get why she feels the need to have so many white ones. The shape and length of these are exactly the same. Comparing them side by side, even my own trained eye could tell that they were the same size and shape. Even the patterns of the frills and lace were identical. There were about 10 dresses hung up in the wardrobe. No matter how much you like them, seeing this many of the same thing like this is pretty weird. Is this normal rich people behavior? Still. Ah! I spun around only to find Aria standing there in the doorway to the room. Even from a bit of distance, I could see the contempt in her eyes. No!
別に一つや二つなら構わないわ。好きなものを持って出て行って。
No!
ごめんなさい。でも本当に私は何も。
She wasn't even looking at me anymore. Rather, it felt like she was just standing around, waiting for me to leave the room of my own accord. Without a single word, she turned her back to me and began to gaze out the window. What in the world am I doing? What a disappointing way to end things.
この絵はいくらかな？色使いがすごくいい。娘が気に入りそうだ。
I wanted to curse my unbelievable stupidity for ruining such miraculous good fortune. But before I do that, there was something else I had to take care of. It would put Mr. Amane in a bind if I just up and left right now. At the very least, I need to prove to them that I didn't steal anything.
お嬢様、私すぐに出て行きます。ですから、少しだけこちらを見てもらえませんか。お嬢様、お願いします。袖には何もありません。靴下にも。
Bye bye.
ポケットの中は、ほら、紙と鉛筆だけ。でも、私が悪いんです。綺麗なお洋服がいっぱいで、お店みたいで、すごく素敵で、だから勝手に。ごめん。
It's no use. She's not even looking at me. Seeing her just like I did when we first met, she really was like a living painting. However, the girl inside the framed painting will never turn to look at me. I need to get out of here. What am I going to do now? I wonder what time Mr. Armani gets back.
それ紙じゃないじゃない。
Couldn't help but let that slip. I lifted my head and found the girl who I thought would never look my way again with her eyes on me.
紙じゃないわ。
I didn't know what she was talking about, but it seemed like she was referring to the sketchbook I pulled out of my pocket.
いいわ。見せて。
はい。それはただの。
Her slender fingers gracefully flipped the book open to the first page. She gazed at one page after another. Without a word, she then quickly flipped through the many blank pages that still remained.
絵はこれだけ？
それだけ。
どうして？
In that moment, her long eyelashes popped open like flower petals. I could see my reflection in her eyes.
どうして？他にはないの？
The look she gave me when she asked that question was without even a single trace of the contempt that she held in those same eyes not very long ago. We're so back! We're so back!
ヴィーナスの誕生はテンペラがね。
She loves art! Oh my god, that was just so awesome. Aria sounded quite cheerful as she laid out a bunch of art books on the floor.
テンペラが？
卵の黄身と顔料を混ぜた絵の具で描かれた絵よ。前に本で読んだの。色彩が鮮やかで変色しないのが特徴だとか。
卵なのに。
卵だからよ。
By some chance, everything changes. I have experienced that phenomenon twice in my life. The first time was when Amane struck up a conversation with me. The second was just yesterday.
これは全部うちで描いたものよね。一つどれくらいで描けるものなの？
写生帳の絵はどれも10分とか。
そんなに短い時間で描けるの？絵は幼い頃から？
そうですね。ちゃんと学んだことはなくて、ただ趣味で落書きをしているだけですが。
あら、落書きだなんて。あなたの絵、すごく素敵よ。ねえ、もっと大きな絵は描かないの？色のついた絵も見てみたいわ。
It was so strange. Even though we've seen each other every day until now, I feel like this was the first time I could see my reflection in Aria's eyes. That's right. Mr. Armani told me when we met at the bazaar that he thought his daughter would like my art. I think I finally understood what he meant when Amane so confidently said that I would get along well with his daughter.
おっと、アリア、ずいぶん散らかしたね。
お父様、どうして昨日は帰ってこなかったの？早く話をしたかったのに。
すまない。付き合いでいろいろとね。それより話って何か問題でもあったのかい？
その楽しげな顔、もう分かっているんでしょ？イチコのことよ。絵が描けるってどうして教えてくれなかったの？
それはね、この時を待っていたからだよ。アリアは押し付けられるのが嫌いだろ？私が下手に話すと、イチコくんの絵を純粋に見られなくなると思ったんだ。だから、二人の距離が近づいて、アリアが自然と彼女の才能に気づく時を黙って待っていたんだよ。
With those words, Amane gave me this triumphant look, as if to acknowledge that everything went exactly as he hoped. It may seem to him like we got closer, but in reality, I really thought I was going to get fired yesterday. Just thinking about it made the muscles in my face all tense, but I still managed to flash a smile back at Amane.
それで、今は二人で何を？
画集を見ながら悩んでいるところよ。いちこの絵に色をつけるならどんな絵の具がいいかと思って。淡い水彩も似合いそうだけれど、見てみたいのは油彩かしら。厚みのある絵の具を使っていちこがどんな絵を描くのかすごく気になる。お父様、画材はどれくらいで揃えられる？今はどこの国のものが一番質が良いのかしら。
I ate all my porridge. No.
So そういうことなら、画商やアーティストの友人に聞いてみよう。できる限り早く最良のものを手配するよ。
ええ、お願い。それで画材が揃ったら。
揃ったら
絵を描く場所をと思ったのだけれど、それは心配いらないみたい。客間の家具を動かしたのはアトリエ代わりにするためなんでしょ
う。じきにアリアにもわかる。言った通りだったろ。
Wow.
もう初めからそこまで考えていたのなら言ってくれれば素直に話を聞いたのに。私そんなに天の弱じゃないわ。
Maybe it's something about being wealthy that causes a parent and child to always speak so comfortably with each other. As I don't family listen to the conversation, it seemed like they decided I was going to do oil paintings. I have no experience with oils and absolutely no confidence that I can use them well, but I didn't have the courage to inject myself into their conversation. I think for now, I should just be happy that the situation didn't devolve into something truly awful. The reason we weren't able to get any closer, no matter how much I worried or what I did, was simply because she didn't take any interest in someone with nothing special to offer, like me. Now that this was crystal clear to me, I couldn't bring myself to be happy about the situation. It left me with a lot of complicated feelings. This is the first time in my life that I've had a total reversal of emotions like this, but...
いちこ、はい。早く画材が揃うといいわね。
She's so happy! It's so pathetic the way my heart so easily skips a beat when I gaze upon a smile that would never ever be directed towards me. It was an emotional roller coaster of a day, but despite that, a wave of relief flowed over me as I crawled into bed and gazed up at the ceiling. Thank goodness I'll still be able to sleep here every day. There's no guarantee that Miss Aria will start treating me differently, but at least I was able to speak with Mr. Amane, so I'll be able to sleep well tonight.
起きて、いちこ。
Girl, why are you in my room?
ねえ、一緒に散歩に行かない？
散歩、今からですか？
ええ、月が綺麗なの。
Oh, you don't do the Suki wa kirei, bro. Holy, the velvet went crazy.
ほら、靴を履いて一緒に来て。
はい。
Just two girls frolicking in the night under a beautiful moon. What time is it? After 1 a.m.? Why does she want to go for a walk now, of all times? As for the reason, it became immediately clear the moment we stepped out of the breakfast room onto the terrace. The garden was so beautiful at night, illuminated by the moonlight. I could make out a near full moon through my blurry, sleepy eyes. Even though I was gradually starting to feel more awake, this majestic scenery unfolded before my eyes like I was still in a dream.
眠れなくて窓の外を覗いたらこの景色が広がっていたからいちこにも見せてあげたくて
Well, her murmuring voice faintly echoed in my ears. She went out of her way to do this. I wanted to say thanks, so I looked towards her, but our eyes didn't meet. Aria was looking up at the moon. Her profile in that fleeting moment was so beautiful as it glowed faint and white in the radiating moonlight. She's like a fairy. As that thought played in my mind, I subconsciously reached my hand into my pocket. Oh no, it's empty. I stepped out so quickly that I forgot my sketchbook on the bedside table. What a letdown. I wish I could have captured this moment on paper and kept it forever.
不満そうね起こすほどじゃなかったかしらえあいえ
Hey! That's not it. Can Ichigo be like, I'm disappointed because I couldn't capture this moment with you! Forever! Lock the fuck in, Ichigo!
そんなまさかいいのよ本当のことを言っても本当ですそんなに怯えなくていいわしばらくは出て行けなんて言わないから本当ですかええそれにあなたへの意地悪ももうやめる
I will stop being mean to you from now on.
お嬢様え意地悪私意地悪されてたんですかお嬢様
Oh my
ごめん
god.
なさいあんなに振り回して笑えないわねでもどうしても許せなかったのもう使用人はいらないってずっと前から話していたのに
That is fair.
お父様が相談もなくあなたを連れてきてだから怒っていたのできるのならすぐにでもやめてほしかった
This confession explained all of Arya's behavior up until now. It turned out that it was more of a fundamental problem than what Sui told me about.
でもやり方が幼稚だった振り回して失敗を待つなんて卑怯よねそんなことをするくらいなら初日にはっきりやめてほしいと言うべきだったわそれはそれで冗談よ初日にクビにしていたらあなたの絵を見て心が躍ることもなかったしこうして話すこともなかったでしょ
Wow. I didn't think she was a joking type. She's a bit hard to understand.
あらもう雲が出てきたのね本当だそろそろ中へ戻りますかええでもその前に
Wait, Ichiko, you didn't explain yourself at all.
歓迎の気持ちよく
Hold on. Or I can just quick save it. I keep pressing the wrong buttons. These keybinds are strange.
部屋に
Let's load.
飾ってちょうだい
Save.
違うんです
Yes, that's what I wanted.
あんまり綺麗でそうだったらそれはどうしてだと思うえどうしてって知らないなら教えてあげる人間には美しいと感じる縦と横の比率があるそうよドイツの大学で教鞭をとっている先生がおっしゃっていたわ美術品はもちろん自然界でも人の目を奪うものの多くはその黄金比でできているんだとか先生がおっしゃるには人の顔にも黄金比というものがあって
それに当てはまる比率の顔を人は美しいと思うそうなの。
With those words, Arya straightened up her slightly tilted head and looked toward me.
まだ研究中だそうだけど、西洋と東洋ではその比率が大きく変わってくるみたい。私の比率は東洋人の黄金比だそうよ。けれど目や鼻の形が西洋人に近いから人種問わず惹かれる人が多いんだろうって。
すごい綺麗って説明できるものなんですね。
そうなの。面白いでしょ。
はい。でも人の表情って動くから比率や形以外にも魅力を感じる理由はいろいろありそう。
I'm such an idiot. I just had to open my big mouth and ruin the mood.
そんなに怯えなくていいわ。
Okay, then.
え、
お嬢様。
Okay, that gave me a lot more
お嬢様。
than the other choice.
ごめんなさい。でもやりあら、ささやかだけれど歓迎の気持ち。よければ部屋に飾ってちょうだい。
Arya then handed me a flower that she picked from the flower bed.
バラの花いいんですか？
もちろんよ。
あ、嬉しい。ありがとうございます。
Woohoo! It was a little hard to see in the dark, but I think it's a light pink one. It's so cute.
トゲ？
Oh no.
お嬢様は平気ですか？
ええ、私は平気。ごめんなさい。渡し方が悪かったわね。いちこは見せて。
The pale palm of Arya's hand wrapped around my right hand to prop it up as I held on to the rose.
よかった。刺さってはいないみたい。
Her hands are bigger than mine. Her fingers are both long and incredibly beautiful. It feels so nice when they're cold like this.
いちこの手、小さいのね。まるで赤ん坊みたい。
Don't say they're like a baby.
そうでしょうか。本物の赤ん坊と比べたら私の手は巨大ですよ。いえ、すみません。お嬢様といると緊張してついおかしなことを。
いちこって面白いのね。いいのよ。何でも好きに話して。私、顔色を伺われるのが苦手なの。それでやめてもらった人もいるくらい。だからこれからはもっと楽にして。私にも気軽に話しかけてくれて構わないから。
Yay! With that, a new relationship between us began that morning.
お嬢様、食事の用意ができました。
I guess some things are still the same. I had thought her not waking up was just another way that she was being mean to me, but it seems like her troubles with waking up stem entirely from her condition. However, she already woke up once, as far as eating properly goes. I'll try to hold out a bit longer. What is this choice? Can I sleep with her? That's the thing, that's what the choice entails.
お嬢様、起きてください。
Wait,
起
what?
きてくれないな。
Wow, you can't say that! You can't do that! Wow! Oh my god!
変な子。どうしていちこも寝るの？
びっくりした。いつから起きてたんですか？
今よ。いちこの声が耳元で聞こえたから。
I wonder about that. Maybe she's actually still teasing me.
その顔、私を疑っているの？もう意地悪はしないって言ったのに。
そういうわけじゃ。
Aria peeked her head out from under the covers and gazed at me with a pouty look on her face. Even Miss Aria makes cute faces like this. I don't know what to do. It's like she's upset, but she's not scaring me at all.
エチコ？
あ、ごめんなさい。
まあ、人を疑っておいてそれだけ？
それだけって。じゃあ、何をすれば許してくれるんですか？
そうね。だったら何か書いてみせて。私まだイチコが書いているところを見たことがないから。
So cute.
それだけ？
え、今回はそれだけで許してあげる。
Well then, if that's all it takes, I'll draw as much as she wants. What should I draw though? My eyes circled around the room looking for something that would pique my interest. Huh? What's a spoon doing there?
じゃあ、あれを描きます。ドレッサーの隅にあるあのスプーン、いいですか？
スプーン？
if I asked someone to just like steal drawings of things, and I asked them to draw something for me, and they drew a fucking spoon! I think that's so funny. Maybe it's a cute spoon. Let's see. What a cute little spoon. I wonder if it's made for kids. If you look closely, there are intricate patterns engraved into it. That's a spoon. It's a wonderful spoon, but incorporating all of the fine details into the drawing will take forever. Hopefully this is enough.
できました。これで許してくれますか？
Forgive me with the spoon. Show me a real spoon. I'm sorry. I'm gonna die. Oh god. Absolutely no reaction. Maybe I really should add more details. Oh, she loves the spoon. She loves the spoon. Oh my god. Yes. She's smiling. She looks so happy.
イチコ。
はい。
すごく気に入ったわ。やっぱりあなたの絵。
Oh my goodness.
よかった。ありがとうございます。このスプーンは何か貴重なものなんですか？それとも高級なブランドものとか。
このスプーンはね。
Oh, okay, has sentimental value. That makes sense.
送ってくれたものなの。銀のスプーン。幸せのお守りなんですって。
幸せのお守り。そっか。だから食べるためのものじゃないからお部屋に飾ってあったんですね。
ええ。でもいつからかすっかり景色に馴染んでしまって、最近はほとんど目に留めることもなかったわ。だからなんだか久しぶりに母に呼ばれた気
So
が。
awesome.
もしかしたらちゃんと手入れしなさいって怒っているのかもしれないけれど。
As she says this, her eyes gleefully bounce between the drawing and real thing as she compares the two. The way she expresses herself is so natural and soft. I'm so glad I drew that. A few minutes passed, and I remembered that I had a meal waiting for me that had long since gone cold. But at least my heart continued to feel a nice warmth. Oh my goodness.
イチコ、すっきりした顔してる。会えてない間に何かあった？
Sui seemed curious about what was going on from the moment she saw me, so I told her about how my relationship with Aria was starting to go well. Sui was beaming after hearing this, almost as if it happened to her and not someone else, and expressed her relief that the situation had gotten better.
で、これがその絵？これをイチコが描いたの？
そんな特別上手ってわけじゃないんだけど。
おバカ！ これで特別じゃないなんて言ったら嫌味だって怒られても仕方ないからね。本当にすごく上手。それに味もあるっていうの？いちこらしい素敵な絵。
そうかな。ありがとう。
本当にすごい。ねえねえ、絵ってどうやって勉強するの？教室に通ったり？それともそばに上手な人がいたとか？
私は施設で育ったから習ったりとか教えてもらったりとかそんな余裕は全然なくて、だからずっと一人で落書きを。
My body began to really tense up after I finished speaking. I thought it would be okay to share all of this with Sui, but maybe it was a bit too much.
そっか、施設でずっと一人で。じゃあさ、もしイチコが先生に習ったりしたら大変なことになるってこと？
え？
これまでも絵を見た人はいたんでしょ？それなのに誰も何もしてくれなかったの？それって変じゃない？忙しいなんて関係ないよね。それともイチコの周りにいた大人がみんな節穴だったってこと？
Sue was going on and with this very serious look on her face. Seeing her get so fired up made me start to giggle, and eventually I just burst out laughing. Even after that, she still couldn't quit talking about how awful those people were. In that moment, I felt silly for ever putting up any barriers around her.
ねえ、スイはお父さんに料理を習ったの？
私？それはねちょっと自慢してもいい？まだ誰も教えてないのに3歳の頃にはもう一人でリンゴの皮を剥いてたんだって。
Oh shit, age 3 peeling apples? Damn!
3歳で？すごい天才だ。
でしょ？私は全然覚えてないから
Oh.
っていうのはちょっと疑ってるんだけどね。
She's so funny and just so joyous. I never realized that getting to know someone and having them get to know me could make my heart feel so full. If I had gotten kicked out back then, I may have never found out what this feels like. I want to talk with them more and learn more about them. It goes for Sui, Miss Aria, and many more. Yay! Wow.
どうぞ。失礼します。あかり？お父様は一緒じゃないの？
ええ。予定外の来客があって、今日は帰れそうにないそうです。それで、頼まれた伝言を。
何？
以前いらしたオランダ政府高官のご友人から、どうしてもアリアさんに会いたいとご連絡が。今週末、極秘でお見えになりたいそうです。
What?
そう。あの方の友人なら、準備が必要ということ？
ええ。あまねさんは金曜日にと。
金曜日？いいわ。お父様には問題ないと伝えておいて。
かしこまりました。では。
待って。画材の話は聞いてる？
画材ですか？ああ。ええ。伺っております。神田画廊の森川氏に相談して、早速手配を進めていただいているところです。
そう。それならいいわ。
はい。では、失礼いたします。
お母様。お母様があの子を呼んだの？私がつまらなそうにしているから？そうなの？ねえ、聞こえてる？もしも、そんなことができるのなら、早く望みを叶えてよ。ねえ、お願い。お母様。
月になったら夏らしい天気。
Oh my goodness. I think I will stop there for tonight. Oh my god! They're so cute! Yay! Thank you for coming to the stream. I get my work schedules on Tuesdays now. So I'll have to figure that out. Figure out the stream schedule in time. But I'll definitely try to do this weekly because I need to know what happens between these two. And thank you for coming. See you guys next time. Bye bye.